Jai Gurudev, dear students. Children, in the last class we have completed lesson number 10, respiration in organisms. So today there is a exercise time. So let's solve the exercise of this part. Many of the exercises are given in between the chapter in the form of fill in the blanks or true or false. So let's start with the fill in the blanks. So it is given on page number 99, means in the new book. According to new book, this page is second page of this chapter and page number 99 you can see here, and it is given in the form of fill in the blanks. So first one is inhalation and exhalation of air through lungs is called breathing. Children, I have taught you that inhalation means intake of air and exhalation means to exhale or take out air through nose or mouth. So these both the processes are coming under breathing. Okay, because these both the processes are physical processes, we can feel them. So second is the exchange of gases between the cells of the body and the blood is called cellular respiration. Children, that when there is exchange of gases after burning of food, means after the oxidation of food with the help of oxygen, this process takes place. And when there is exchange of gases between the body cells and the blood, means from the body through the blood that oxygen and food reaches to the body cells, that process is called cellular respiration. Okay, so next is third is breakdown of food without the presence of oxygen to release energy is anaerobic respiration. Children, we have studied in this chapter about two kind of respiration. One is aerobic and second anaerobic. So this is anaerobic respiration because here is without the presence of oxygen. You know that without the presence of oxygen, what kind of respiration takes place? Anaerobic kind of respiration. Because where oxygen is present, that kind of respiration is called aerobic respiration. Okay, so here also food breakdowns, but it releases less amount of energy. Okay, and this anaerobic respiration is performed by bacteria, fungi. Okay, yeast I have given you example. So next fourth is in anaerobic respiration, dash is released along with energy in anaerobes. Anaerobes means bacteria or fungi or those microorganisms which perform anaerobic kind of respiration. They are coming under the category of anaerobes, means we can call them anaerobes. So in anaerobic respiration, what is produced along with the energy? Ethanol plus, in place of plus you can write and also, but here is less place, so that's why I have put symbol of plus. So ethanol and carbon dioxide. Children, you can see here in this reaction also, when I have explained you that this is glucose in the form of food, when it breaks down without oxygen. There is no oxygen, you can see, and without oxygen, when it breaks down, it produces ethanol. This is a formula of ethanol, C2H5OH, and plus carbon dioxide. CO2 is a formula of carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide and ethanol is produced during anaerobic respiration, and here children you can write plus energy. Okay. Energy, but how much amount of energy? Less. Here you should write less. Okay, and about this they have asked here that what is produced here in anaerobic respiration. Ethanol plus carbon dioxide is released. So fifth is, during heavy exercise our muscle cells produce lactic acid through anaerobic respiration. Children, in this chapter I have explained you that in our body also, in our muscle cells also, anaerobic respiration takes place during the heavy exercises. When we perform any kind of heavy work, and at that time our muscle cells, they need large amount of energy, and that's why they adopt another mode of respiration, which is anaerobic respiration. Normally aerobic respiration takes place in our body, but when there is a need of extra energy during heavy exercises, that time our muscle cells produce lactic acid after anaerobic respiration. Okay, for this you can see this one, this reaction. You can see this is glucose, and in our muscle cells what happened when glucose break down without oxygen, because oxygen is already utilized by aerobic respiration, so there is lack of oxygen in our muscle cells during heavy exercise. So this glucose breakdown without oxygen, but what product is produced here? Lactic acid. Children, this is a formula of lactic acid, C3H6O3. Okay, and here also you write energy. But this energy also produced in less amount. Okay, so because it is also anaerobic respiration and during heavy exercises. So this you can we have already studied here about this. They have asked here in the fifth blank. Okay, so after this let's go to next exercise, which is given on page number 103 in your book, new book. Okay, so this exercise is in the form of true or false. Okay, for true you have to write T, and for false you have to write F, capital T and capital F. So let's read. First is the air breathed in passes from nostrils through the trachea to the pharynx. So children, this statement is false, because what is written here? The air breathed in passes from nostrils through the trachea to the pharynx, because it is inward process. From the nostrils, when air passes through the trachea, then it reaches to the bronchi, not to the pharynx, because pharynx are present before this trachea. Air first enter to the pharynx, then it enters to the trachea. So this is written in a wrong way. So this statement is false. And second is, alveoli are the units of lungs. You know, children, alveoli are present in lungs. Means it is a part of lungs, or they are the parts of lungs which are balloon like structures. So this is true. Let me show you the diagram of human lungs. You can see these white color balloon like small structures. They are called alveoli. Okay, so about this they ask, and they are present inside the lungs, so they are part of lungs. That's why this statement which is given here, this is true. Third is, in the cell, energy is obtained by breakdown sugar into carbon dioxide and water in the presence of oxygen. Children, it is true. This statement is given about the cellular respiration, or we can say respiration which is takes place, or breakdown of food which is takes place in our body. And this is about the aerobic respiration, because during the aerobic respiration, you know, there is a breakdown of sugar in the form of glucose into carbon dioxide and water. Means during aerobic respiration, what is breakdown? Sugar is breakdown in the form of glucose. And what are the products produced during this process? Carbon dioxide plus water along with energy, you know. Okay, and this process takes place in the presence of oxygen. So that's why it is aerobic respiration, and this statement is true. Fourth is, when we inhale air, ribs move down and inwards, while the diaphragm moves up. No, children, this is false statement. You know, when we inhale air, you know, this through this diagram I can show you that here it is written breathing in, means here we are inhaling air. And here what happens? See the size of ribs. Size of ribs here, they are moving outward, means shape of these ribs moves outward. And the shape of diaphragm also, you can see, when we breathe in, shape of our diaphragm, it comes down, means moves down, not up. So that's why this statement is written as false. And fifth is, the rib cage is an essential part of respiratory system. No, children, rib cage is not a part of respiratory system. They help in these all the ribs, or we can say rib cage only helps in respiration, but it is not a part of respiratory system, because respiratory system has only starts from nostrils and end up to alveoli, okay, in the lungs. So that's why rib cage is not an essential part of respiratory system. So that's why this is false statement. So children, this is about the in between exercises which were present in between the chapter, and now this next exercise is in the form of match the following, and it is given after the completion of chapter. And here they have given two columns, column A and column B. So here they have written 6 words: amoeba, fishes, plants, earthworms, cockroaches and birds. And here they have written moist skin, stomata, lungs, cell membrane, gills, spiracles. Means here in column A they have written the name of various organisms, and column B is filled with the respiratory organs of different organisms. So you have to match them, means different respiratory organs you have to match with the organisms, name of organisms. So let's do one by one. Amoeba. Children, amoeba perform respiration with the help of cell membrane. I have explained you. In case of amoeba, its structure is very simple, and it is made up of a single cell. So amoebae perform respiration through the cell membrane. Means simply through this cell membrane oxygen goes in, and in the same way carbon dioxide also comes out through this cell membrane. Okay, so that's why amoeba match with the cell membrane. And second is fishes. Fishes, children, their respiratory organs are gills, which are not present in any other organisms. So fishes perform respiration through the gills. And plants have stomata through tiny pores. These stomata are the tiny pores through which exchange of gases takes place. Means oxygen goes in and carbon dioxide comes out. And next is earthworms. Earthworms respire through the moist skin. Earthworms have, in your book also we have studied. You can see here earthworms you must have seen during the rainy season. They are very common, and they have a moist body because they are generally coming out during the rainy season, and through the moist skin oxygen goes in and carbon dioxide comes out. Okay, so that's why earthworms we match with the moist skin. Next is cockroaches. Cockroaches, children, cockroaches are coming under the category of insects. And in case of insects, I have explained you that insects have holes on their body surface which are called spiracles, and air enters through these spiracles, and then it moves to the full body through the tube-like structures. So cockroaches we match with the spiracles. You can see, I can show you here where we have studied in this chapter. Here you can see in this paragraph I have explained you about the spiracles. Okay, so insects, all the insects have cockroaches name written here. All the insects have these kind of spiracles, and through these spiracles air enters to our their body, and after entering through these spiracles that air moves to all parts of the body through tube like structures which are called tracheal tubes, and their branches called tracheoles. Okay, so this is about the cockroaches or insects. And last is about the birds. Birds perform respiration through lungs. Children, birds have lungs only through which they perform process of respiration, just like human beings. Okay, the birds don't perform any other mode of respiration. They have only lungs to perform the process of respiration. So after this, children, our next exercise is in the form of choose the correct option. So first is the chemical process involves oxidation of food to release energy is called, this statement is about the cellular respiration. Okay, because here oxidation of food with the release of energy takes place, so this process is called cellular respiration. And second is, which of the following is true about yeast? Yeast is a fungus, and here alcohol and energy are released during respiration. This is about the anaerobic respiration. Already I have explained you just now in another exercise that during anaerobic respiration alcohol and energy are released, but in less amount. Okay, so this statement is correct for yeast. And third is, which of the following will be produced in the muscle cells of a person who cycling? This also just now I have explained you. In our muscle cells, lactic acid is produced. Okay, from these all the options, lactic acid is produced because our muscle cells, when perform any kind of heavy work or heavy exercise like cycling, that time our muscles need more energy. So this process they adapt anaerobic respiration, and during anaerobic respiration lactic acid is produced. And children, next, fourth is tubes through which air enters the lungs is called bronchi, because bronchioles are present inside the lungs. But what they ask, the tubes through which air enters the lungs, they are called bronchi. I show you through the diagram also. Here this is trachea, and after trachea, when trachea branched into two, so these kind of branches are called bronchi. One is called bronchus and two are called bronchi. Okay, so here these two branches of this trachea are bronchi. Through these bronchi air enters to the lungs. Okay, this is one lung and this is second one. So about this they have asked in here in fourth one. Okay, so bronchi is a correct option. Last and fifth, choose the correct option is frogs respire through which of the following? You know, children, we have studied about frogs, that frogs perform respiration through lungs as well as through moist skin, because because frogs are amphibians, they can live on land as well as in water. So when they are on the land, that time they perform respiration with the help of lungs. But when they are in water, at that time they perform respiration process through the moist skin. So both A and B option are correct options. Okay. And children, this is your last exercise of this chapter in the form of give one word for the following. Here you have to write words for the statements given. First is taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide is called, what is this process? It is called external respiration. Okay, you can write here breathing also, because just to take in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide is called breathing. It is a physical process and we can feel it also. Okay, so here you can read either breathing or external respiration. Second is the pigment in blood that transports oxygen. Children, you know, in our blood, red color pigment is present, which is responsible for the transport of oxygen. That is hemoglobin. Okay, and because of this pigment, our blood is red in color. And third is small opening present on the sides of body of insects for gaseous exchange is spiracles. Just now in the previous exercise I have explained you about the spiracles, that they are small openings present in the on the body of insects, like cockroaches we have studied just now. And fourth is reaction of digested food with oxygen is called aerobic respiration. You know, our digested food when react with oxygen, and this process is called oxidation, and oxidation of food, this process is called aerobic respiration. And fifth is tubes that branch out from trachea and enter each lung are called bronchus. Here tubes they have written, so you can write bronchi. Okay, one is bronchus and two are bronchi, so you can write either bronchus or bronchi. This also I have explained you in the form of choose the correct answers, that the type of tubes which are branched out from the trachea. You know, trachea branched out into two branches. So that branches which enter to the lungs, they are called bronchus or bronchi. Okay, children. So this is about your exercise part. And all the exercises which we have just now completed, they all you fill in your book only. Don't write in your notebook, science notebook. Okay, only you have to fill in your book and learn from the book only. Okay, and whatever question answers we are writing, question answers you will write in your science notebook, but exercises you have to learn from the book and fill only in the book and use pencil to fill the exercises. Okay, don't use pen in your book. Okay, children. So with this this chapter is now completed. Jai Gurudev.